is an artist, a singer, and an entrepreneur. Her passion and drive to do what she loves continues to inspire Filipinos all over the country. Whether it's dancing, singing, or performing, she drones her craft and gives it her all.
Hi, guys, and welcome to another episode of In Love with Me. And we have a beautiful woman that we will be inspired this afternoon with. And so, without further ado, let me introduce to you guys the beautiful, talented Mica Javier. Hi, Mica.
Hi. That was such a cute intro.
You should see the outro. But anyway.
Which actually, when I was watching it, I was like, man, when are we going to get to do live shows like that again?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Times have changed.
It's been such an amazing journey that you've had, though. Seeing those photos, I'm sure it brings back a lot of beautiful memories. But before we talk about that, please share with everyone here how you became the empowered woman that you are today.
That's a long story.
I told you we have a long.
Where do I start? I'll try to encapsulate it as best as I can.
Mm-hmm.
So for people that don't know, I am the eldest of 7 children.
Love
My
it.
siblings call me Manang, and
Yeah.
Manang is kind of like ate in Bisaya or other dialects. And when I was 13 years old, I lost my mom to leukemia, and at the time there were 5 of us, and we were all very young. The youngest was 5 years old, so it was me, 3 boys, and then my sister. And I think the beginnings of becoming an empowered woman started at that time, because I was forced to grow up. I was forced to become an adult when I was basically just turned into a teenager. And my dad was always there for us, for sure, but he was more of an authoritative, businessman, took care of the family in a very alpha male kind of way. A lot of the nurturing and the growing up as a young lady, as a woman, was missing, because obviously I didn't have a mom. So I had to kind of figure that out early on by myself. I would say I learned a lot about how to become a young lady through my friends and their moms, and looking up at idols, like people that I looked up to. Like Jennifer Lopez was one of the people I looked up to. I remember looking up to a lot of actors and performers because I was a performer as a child, and I just connected a lot with women that I felt like, one, I kind of looked like in a way, and 2, were doing things that I dreamt of doing when I grew up. So a lot of my influences in my women figures were actually not related to me. And because of that, and because my mom, when we were young, instilled in us when we were growing up that we should always be the best. Like, we would wake up in the morning to go to school, and even if my mom was asleep, she would wake up to give us like a thumbs up in the morning before we would go to school. Even if she was like half asleep, she'd be like, be the best. And that became kind of like a motto, with like an inside motto with my siblings and I. And I guess it got stuck, and it was ingrained in my brain to just always be the best in whatever it is that you put your mind into. And my mom was the type of person that was super supportive and very, like pushed me into the arts. I wouldn't have become like this if it wasn't for her, I think, because she painting lessons and everything. And then when she was gone, my dad was the best example of how to become um, a leader, uh, like a boss and a entrepreneur and a self-made person. And he had a lot of lessons that helped in shaping the way I saw the world and the way I carried myself. And combining those two and trying to figure things out on your own kind of led me into becoming this kind of go-getter personality, kind of like fearless, adventurous, not aggressive, just kind of like if I put something in my brain, I want to do it, I just do it. I don't like, nothing really will scare me or stop me from trying something. And because I lost my mom at such an early age, it put something in it, the most.
You there, Mica?
I think we're back. Hello.
Yeah, there.
Stop. Where did I stop?
You said you were fearless and you're a go-getter, and the reason why you were like that is because of your mom.
Okay,
And,
okay.
and
So the
yeah.
reason I also have this mentality where it's like, yo, life is short, is because I lost my mom so early. She was only 35 years old um, when she when she passed away, and I was thinking like at an early age, I was like, oh my god, I'm probably only gonna live till 35. Like not literally, but like in my mind, it was like I have to make something out of myself before I turn 35, because that was like as long as my mom's life. And what do I do after? I don't have an idea of what it is to be a woman past 35. As weird as that sounds, but like in my child brain, that's how it kind of
Yeah.
panned out. And basically, those were the elements that contributed to me becoming uh, what I am today, which is, I don't know, like my journey has not been point A and direct to point B. It's been like point A and then circles and zigzags and back and then back up, and it's not been a straight line, like not at all. Um, and I've had a lot of hurdles. I've had a lot of um, I've made a lot of mistakes, and in there are times where I thought so highly of myself, but I didn't really know anything about life. You know what I mean? Like when you're younger, you think like the
You
world
know
is your
everything.
oyster and
Yeah.
you know everything. And then your parents or other people are telling you, no, you should, you know, be open to learning more of this kind of stuff, or maybe opening up your attitude and your mentality to other things. And I didn't understand a lot of that for a long time until shit happened. Sorry.
And no, it's okay. I mean, it's the honest truth. We're humans,
Yeah.
you know. Like
Like
you said, it's not a straight line. You went
no.
to so many different trials, hurdles, and I remember the
And
first time.
you've been there through a lot of it.
Yeah,
Like what year was it when we met?
we met probably 2012 ish.
2012. Okay, so that
I
was
think
the
we,
year
yeah,
that I moved back to
yes.
Manila from New York. That
Mhm.
was one really tangible and life-changing time for me, because I was living in New York for 7 years up until 2012. I went to NYU for college. I actually I lived in Italy for my freshman year of college, and then I finished the last 3 years of college in New York. I graduated with um, 2 degrees. I had an associate degree, a bachelor's degree, and I was cum laude from NYU, which is like, now that I look back, dang, that was kind of a hard thing to achieve. But at the time, I was like, it's cool,
Yeah.
cool. I'll do my homework. I'll work hard, and then One of the deals my dad made me was, if you get into a really good school, get good grades, I will let you do whatever you want after you graduate. So I
Uh-huh.
held on to that. I was like, cool, I'm gonna do my best. I'll give him a diploma from a really top school in the US, and then I can do whatever I want after, which I really wanted to be an artist after.
Mm-hmm.
But I was always so torn between, like, you have to do business or you have to do something stable
Mm-hmm.
and you have to follow in the footsteps of your parents or whatever. Which all of those things are not bad advice.
Right.
But at the time, I was very like tunnel vision, like
Mm-hmm.
one track minded, where I just wanted to model and be an artist and sing and dance and perform. And the journey towards that kind of career is not easy.
Mm-hmm.
It is full of heartbreak and mishaps, and you think you're getting somewhere and then it's a dead end, and
Mm-hmm.
it's rejection left and right. If you want to get tough skin, I swear, go into entertainment modeling and just that. The performing
It's
arts.
an
It's
open
the
book
best
type
way
of,
to,
yeah.
yeah, it's the best way to thicken your skin and realize that, um, like, when you are rejected, it is not that you are not good enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sign that maybe you're not ready yet, or it's a redirection to a better direction for you.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
But I
It
didn't
totally
learn that
does.
right away. I was so
Mm-hmm.
frustrated for the longest time. When I met you, I was so frustrated
Yeah, I
because,
remember. I
yeah,
remember
because it wasn't.
motivating you because you wanted to stay in New York, right?
I wanted to stay in New York. I was already signed to a production deal
Mhm.
with Timbaland Productions. So
Yes.
any music person who
Mm.
knows hip hop and R&B, you know Timbaland. He makes hit songs and awesome,
Mhm.
like, genres of music, right? And
Mhm.
I was part of his team. Like, he had a bunch of young producers that he was grooming,
Mhm.
and I was one of the younger artists that they were also trying to like develop and give me a sound. And at the time there were not a lot of Asian artists, so they were trying to
Mhm.
tap into that. And I felt like, dang, like, not everyone gets to experience this kind of thing. So I'm already here, like, my foot is in the door already,
Mhm.
and I'm in New York, the hub of everything entertainment wise. And then one day my visa gets denied. Well, the
Mhm.
petition to renew my artist visa was not granted
Mhm.
due to some like loophole in their system or whatever. And I couldn't understand, because in my mind it was like, okay, I went to college here. I've basically been groomed to work in
Mhm.
the American system.
Mhm.
I was working already. I had my visa, I had my paperwork done, I was paying taxes. I was doing everything by the book, per
Right.
se. Yet, it doesn't matter what you've done right,
Mhm.
what credibility or requirements you've submitted, what you have. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
Mhm.
Um, then they just sent me back home, as if the 7 years that I lived in New York didn't matter at all. So
Mhm.
imagine, like, you're this young artist getting your feet wet in the industry you want to be part of. And then I think the biggest thing that happened to me in New York was, modeling wise, I had a billboard all over Times Square. It was a
Wow.
Verizon wireless commercial
Mhm.
billboard. I was with like two other girls, but still, my face
Mhm.
was still on there. It was like on every subway advertising board. And at the same time, my song 3000 Light Years, which I recorded under Timbaland Productions, it was
Mhm.
licensed to Glee, that TV show, Glee,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
Dance Moms, which were two huge shows in the States at the time. And so
Mhm.
my voice, like, was getting heard and was getting placed with these, big shows. And who wouldn't want that? Like, who wouldn't want to be associated with that kind of environment? And all of a sudden, one day, one letter from the USCIS just takes me all the way back home.
Mhm.
I had to pack up my apartment. I had to sign off from my agencies and literally, like, call them and be like, hello, Booker, I'm no longer gonna be living here. Thank you for the help. You know, like just like that. It's like the coronavirus. It's like we're all so happy, normal life, and then all of a sudden, boom, y'all have to stay home for 3 months, and God knows how long after that.
Right.
You know? It was like, so when I moved home to Manila, I was so frustrated. I was like, man, I already worked so hard. What am I gonna do here? Start all the way from scratch, from nothing. I don't know anyone here. I don't speak the language that well. They don't like me. I don't like them. Like, it was that negative mentality.
I remember
And
that.
not because I was like I didn't recognize where I came from, but it was because I was already in a different environment. I was already groomed for a different environment, and then I had to reset and start from scratch, from zero again.
Right.
So I had to figure out, what if I want to do this here in this country, because I can't leave, can't go anywhere. What do I do? How do I start? And at the time, I wasn't young. I wasn't a teenager anymore that had that, you know, that you could just go into a network or a management company and they can form who you were. I was already a formed person at the time. Like, I knew what I wanted. I knew how I carried myself. I knew, you know, like, my capacity as a person. And it wasn't something easy for me to shed. But things weren't working out for me. I just was miserable. And slowly, things started to happen. I started meeting people that kind of, I would talk to you, or one of them. You encouraged me a lot. You believed in me from the get-go. At the time,
like, what's up? You're such a beautiful young woman.
When that happens, you have so many insecurities again. Because, okay, so like a clear example would be, this is, a lot of Filipinos can relate to this. We're brown, right? In America, they love this color because, I mean, they have to go to tanning salons to get a tan. And, you know, like, it's just different, what they like. And then over here, they like whiter skin and magpaputi ka, galing ka ba sa beach? Like, just stuff like that. Like, those were all the comments I would get all the time. And, like, not that I ever felt uncomfortable in my skin, but I was frustrated that the way I looked wasn't what was marketable here.
Yeah.
But I got used to going to castings every day and booking jobs in America just based on how I looked. And then here, I'm Filipino, I'm Morena, I'm really from here, but they won't book me because I'm brown. You know, just like that that's like one frustration I remember encountering and thinking, oh, what am I gonna do here? They don't like me. So like where do I go? And then luckily I still had some sort of confidence in my music, because when I moved back, I had a bunch of, hello? Oh, shoot.
Yeah, keep going. We can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, so when I moved back, I had a bunch of songs that were already recorded that were pretty much ready to be released. And I figured, sayang naman, I worked so hard so many years to like write these songs and, you know, like try to become an artist. So if I just drop everything and stop now, then sayang, then what happened in New York? So I decided might as well use the Philippines as a training ground, build my skill set. At the time, I wasn't very good at live performances. I was used to recording in studios, writing songs, and doing that whole behind the scenes. But live performances, I wasn't so, hindi pa ako hasa. Like, I didn't know, you know, how to hear yourself live on stage when the crowd is loud, the speakers are busted. Just little things like that, you know, like you fall flat on your face time and time again, and you're so embarrassed because you messed up on a show, or you didn't hit the note, or you fell on stage, you know, just stuff like that, or the music cuts out because of a brownout or whatever. All of those things happened to me, and I would watch myself and be like, kapal talaga ng mukha alam mo magaling ka. You know what I mean? Like, all the insecurities just started coming. And then, like, the way you talk to the audience, all that. Like, I used to not be able to speak in front of people. Like, it'd be so awkward. I wouldn't know what to say. But then a part of me would always be like, oh well, just try again. You learned something the last time, maybe don't do that. Try something different. Just keep going. Think of other ways to connect. Just like a self development journey that happened internally and also based on what people would react to or not react to here in Philippines. And it's a smaller audience and a smaller market here, so it felt a little safer. At the end of
Yeah.
the day, I can run home and hide and not show my face if I'm really that embarrassed. But at the same time, those embarrassing moments and those failures, those rejections were the ones that continued to build me up and make me be able to take what I take now, which this is something that's funny because in the beginning, you're always thinking, ang hirap, there's so many struggles. Like, man, when I make it, it's going to be so much easier. When I make something out of myself, this is going to be smooth. No, nothing's ever smooth.
Yeah.
You just learn how to manage things better with grace, and you just learn how um, to recalibrate your mentality, how you react to things, how you think about solving problems, and not letting things affect you as long or as much, so that you can move on and continue to get to where you're trying to go. I had to learn that the hard way because I was always frustrated. It's
Yeah.
like if I put my heart and soul into something and then it didn't do anything, I get so frustrated. Like I just be like, man, I spent all
But
my
I think
money, all my time, I
you're
did this,
frustrated.
didn't do anything, no one cares.
You're frustrated because you're passionate of where you want to go.
Yeah,
And I think the speed that you want to go in is faster than you want it, like in reality, right?
yeah, yeah.
But that's the thing about you that I noticed is that just watching you from afar, from a distance, I was like, wow, I'm so happy for Mica, what she's achieving, and now you are, happily married. We were just talking about that. You're a new wifey now, and that's why I wore this shirt because happy wife, happy life.
Oh,
That's the reason why.
cool.
You're such a beautiful bride. Congratulations to you and Jaya,
Thank you.
first and
Thanks.
foremost.
That was so much fun.
Yeah, and I was just telling you, you're so blessed that you were able to still carry on with your beautiful wedding in Boracay. How was
I
that?
know. That was like the best thing that ever happened this year.
Hmm.
Thank God it freaking pulled through, man. It almost didn't. I swear. Like, people were canceling. My dad was freaking out. He didn't want to get on a plane. It was, to be honest, like, we were supposed to do our civil wedding in LA because JR is American. It would just be easier for us to do it there, paperwork wise. And we
Yes.
had to cancel it. This was supposed to happen February 2,
Hmm.
and we were supposed to fly out January 30. Like my whole family was supposed to go fly to LA, see us do the civil wedding, signing, whatever, come back, do the March 1 Boracay wedding, and be done.
Yeah.
Coronavirus news hit the week before that happened, the week before February started, last week
Yeah.
of January. And my dad was like being really super
Hmm.
paranoid about it, right? And I was like, is this
Yeah.
real? Is this fake news? But I know my dad. He's very
Hmm.
practical and very he's on the ball when it comes to anything like this.
Hmm.
So if he freaks out about something, it's gotta be real. Like it's gotta be legit. It's not,
Right.
he doesn't
Hmm.
freak out over any just whatever stuff, right? So then I
Hmm.
was like, okay, let's be safe because one, I don't want any of my family members to get sick or stressed. Like,
Yes.
and two, like you wouldn't want to force people to fly when they're not comfortable and then ruin your civil because everyone's like, oh, I don't want to be here. You know what I mean? Like it would have been too stressful. So I said,
Hmm.
okay, we can always move that. And we didn't do a church wedding in Boracay, so it was okay for us to not have the license there.
Hmm.
Like I cleared all of this before we proceeded, right? Of
Of course.
course.
Hmm.
Um, but so when that was canceled, I was so I was kind of like stressed, but not really, because it's like part of me was like, okay, that's life, it happens, we can always reschedule. And then two,
Mhm.
it was like, wait, what about the wedding in Boracay, which we spent 1 year planning, and
Right.
we spent all our own money. We didn't
Mhm.
get any handouts from anyone. It was all me and JR. And I was
Mhm.
like, oh my god, dude, 1 year of planning and then it might just get canceled. No, sana wag naman. So we prayed
Mhm.
so hard. I swear, I prayed so hard for it to pull through, and thankfully it did, and it turned out to be the best day ever. Like, if I would have imagined a perfect wedding, this was beyond that pa. Because there's so many things that happened, so many breakthroughs, and so many like just miraculous moments that happened that I could not have planned. For me, my family, and the merging of my family with JR's family, it was just so smooth. Which,
Yeah.
let's face it, these events are never smooth. And I
Yeah.
think the one thing that helped with the smoothness of everything was because I had spent the last couple of years or the last few years figuring out how to become an artist. If you're an
Mhm.
artist, you are used to random call times, you're used to things getting sent to you last minute, you're used to things falling apart the day of the
Yeah.
event, and then you just have to go with the flow, the show must go on. Because of being used to that kind of industry and environment, it
Yeah.
helped me be able to plan the wedding the best way that
Mhm.
it could go. Because you already know, like you already know, okay, the music's
Yeah.
probably gonna get messed up, so you have backup, whatever. You
Mhm.
probably know, oh, someone's gonna forget this thing, so you have someone to remind. Like I thought of everything already before finalizing the program and everything. So
Mhm.
turned out to be really good.
Yeah, it helped.
And
It
that was
helped you.
honestly
Yeah.
that was
Go.
the best that was the best thing that could have happened before the lockdown, because
Yeah.
that was the last time my family and my friends were able to go out,
Mhm.
vacation a little bit,
Yeah.
and be free and happy, and not think about like the coronavirus and the precautions and
Mhm.
safety, and like that was the last time that we all were free and
Mhm.
just happy and enjoying life.
Mhm.
Literally a week after that, just lockdown.
Yeah. It was so beautiful. Like I was
So
telling you earlier, I was talking to Jing Monis about it, your makeup artist, and also I guess our mentor that we share. And he was saying, yeah, it was so beautiful. You were such a beautiful bride. Everything, every little detail that you had. And now I know because you really prepared for it. And yeah, that's right. As an artist, you know already what's going to go wrong. So you
yeah,
know you
so
have
it
that.
helped. So my point is, everything that you go through
Hmm.
can contribute to improving whatever it is that you're gonna go through later in life.
Right.
Whether it's
Exactly.
your career, your family, your relationships, like all
Hmm.
that. Like I had some major relationship hurdles with
Hmm.
my dad, with my family that I had to go through. You knew some of that stuff that was
Hmm.
happening, and it's taken a long time to really come into to my own,
Hmm.
and be comfortable in my skin, in who
Yeah.
I have become as a person. And like if I look back, there are a lot of things that were cool about me
Hmm.
growing up or when I was hustling in New York and stuff, but there are also a lot of things that I don't identify with anymore at all now.
Hmm.
Like I feel so much wiser and more just, I guess, a more well-rounded person, and
Hmm.
I can credit a lot of that to JR, my husband. Wow, I can say husband.
Woohoo! He must be
Because he's
smiling.
so nice.
Yeah.
Like his personality, he's so humble, so nice, so patient. Not that I wasn't like that, but I was more aggressive. I was more trigger happy
Hmm.
because of what I went through growing up. Like it was always defense. Like your
Yeah.
walls are up, your walls are thick, you're ready to
Mhm.
fight. Like you know what I mean? Like everything was so. And I lived in New York by myself, girl. No
Mhm.
family, no titos and titas I can just call or go to. It was me by myself fighting away, fighting off all the weird people on the street trying to holler at you, and like people trying to take
I'm
advantage
sure there was
of
a
you.
lot.
Yeah, just because you're Asian or you're a girl or
Mhm.
whatever. Like it's, but
Yeah.
it's funny because at the time I used to just be like, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I had this like Filipina, no F's given.
Yeah.
I'm from the island and I don't care kind of attitude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just like that.
so so I didn't allow a lot of those things to really offend me or
Mm-hmm.
hurt me or kind of taint
Mm-hmm.
my outlook or how I saw life and people.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of those things can be very traumatic,
Yeah.
especially if you're alone and you're a girl. But yeah, because I grew up here in Manila and like, you know how gangster Filipinos can be? Like, you know, like just take traffic, like how people drive here. You have to have some sort of angas if you're Filipino, you know?
Yeah.
And you do like we just don't allow people to stop all over us when we're
Mm-hmm.
out there in the big bad world. Well, at least for me, that was my approach. So, but then when I look back, it's kind of like, shoot, if I would have a daughter, I would not feel comfortable letting
Mm-hmm.
them go off into the world alone like that. Like what happened to
Mm-hmm.
me.
And that's something
But
that
it's all in hindsight.
yeah. But it's something that we have in common. Nick and I talk about that all the time because I came out here by myself. Same thing that you did in New York. And he always wondered, well, your parents allowed you to go by yourself to the Philippines? I mean, yeah, it is your country, but still, if I had a daughter, I will have to, protect her and this like that. And that's what I love about
Hey,
you because you had that strength, you had that power of um, going out of your comfort zone, and then just having this attitude that was so powerful, and that's inspiring, regardless of what you said earlier, Mika, that you had a moment in your life that you were so low about it. But look at you now. You know, another story I remember about you, you opened for your idol here in the Philippines. Do you remember that?
yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
That was so
Oh,
awesome.
one of the highlights of my life.
Tell us about
When
it.
I was
I'll let
growing
you
up,
tell us it.
I told you guys earlier that I looked up to Jennifer Lopez a lot.
Yeah.
The reason for that was because when I was in high school, I had a really big butt.
Okay.
They used to call me ghetto booty in high school. And of course, around that time, Jennifer Lopez came up and she was popping, and all of a sudden, like the big booty thing became a thing. So I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I can look up to someone that's cool, that has the same body shape as me, and that
Mhm.
I won't get bullied and put down because I'm not stick skinny and whatever. And then she ended up, she was doing film. She did Selena, and then she came
Yeah.
out with an album. And I was like, oh, I want to do everything that she's doing. And I swear, I dreamt about meeting her.
Mm.
And this was a recurring dream, by the way. Like it didn't happen just once. It kept happening over time. I
Mhm.
dreamt about meeting J Lo at a concert that she had, and then she drove by me, and I
Mhm.
was obviously starstruck. And then she was like, "Hey, you, come join me at my concert." And I kept having this dream, like
Yeah.
over and over and over as I grew up. Like I don't know, like maybe I was just that
Wow.
obsessed with her. And then one day, when I moved back to the Philippines,
Uh-huh.
um, my team from New York, obviously they're connected, right, with different
Mhm.
people in the industry. They knew J Lo was coming to Manila, and obviously I had just moved back from New York to Manila, so I was
Yeah.
still closer to them at the time. They were like, "Hey, maybe this can help you out. You should open for J Lo. She's doing a show there, and she's cool with you opening for her
Mm.
because you're part of our team." I was like, "Huh?"
Wow.
Like nobody knows who I am in this country. I just moved back. Kapal, like, lakas ng loob lang talaga. I swear, I was like, well, she's my idol, so I'm gonna do it.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
at
I
the
remember
time,
that.
dude, I've never had a TV guesting or radio guesting, no, nothing in Manila.
Mhm.
And I went, um, I already knew JR at the time. I think
Mhm.
we knew each other for a month already. And we had
Mhm.
already written a song together called Tonight. So it was kind of
Mhm.
my way of being like, hey, I have this opportunity to open for J Lo. Can you guest with me? And then I'm gonna sing my original songs, and then we can sing the song that we wrote together.
Mhm.
And he was like, sure, I'll help you. So he was the one that booked the dancers, and we rehearsed, and he helped me with like the sequence of the tracks and everything. And
Yeah.
so I did it, balls to the wall. Never performed, never performed in MOA Arena ever in my life or any venue that big. So parang
Amazing.
wala, lakas ng loob lang. I want to do this, so I'm gonna do it. I don't care if they don't know me. And
Exactly.
then what I did was I printed a bunch of T-shirts with my
Uh-huh.
like my image on it, and then I threw them out to the crowds. But at least my people love freebies, right? So it's like, here, take my T-shirts, and then they were like, yay! And then I sang, performed, got off stage, and then met J Lo afterwards.
Well,
That was
amazing.
it.
I mean, that is
But it's like
something.
that's manifesting. It's like
Yes, it is.
manifesting your dreams in a way, which is
Mhm.
weird because it's so specific,
Yeah.
but it's literally manifested.
Yeah, this is just a a perfect example of someone that wanted something so badly, and that's what I always say: is they throw it through the universe, say it over and over, write it down,
Yeah.
and you just will be surprised when it comes true. Like for you, when you told me that, because I look up to J Lo too. I was like, yeah, Mika,
It's
go.
so nice. Like, you meet your idol sometimes and you're like, oh, they're not as cool as I had them in my head. She was
Mm.
so chill. Like, she was so kalog and just normal. I was like, what? She's normal?
So
And
after
she ate
being,
undox.
oh, there you go.
Fed her undox. Her family had tried undox, dude.
Yeah.
Freaking hilarious. Because they're from Puerto Rico, right? Her mom was
Mhm.
also here. Her kids were here. So they wanted something kind of similar, like liempo and lechon
Mhm.
and stuff like that. So I sent them some to their hotel and they loved it. They told me backstage, they were like, thanks for the food. It was so yummy. I was like, what?
Wow. You're connected. You're super
Yeah,
connected
but
to your idol.
anyways, I really live by that, by
Mhm.
visualizing and really detailing in words out loud
Mhm.
or writing it down, sending it out to the universe what you want to happen because and then we're obviously working towards it, like putting your
Mhm.
energy towards it because it does happen. Another
Mhm.
thing that happened that kind of was similar to that was when I started um, going into acting.
Mhm.
Like out of all the performing arts, acting was the last thing that I wanted to do. I don't know why, but I
Mhm.
don't know. I just wanted to dance. I wanted to sing, but acting for me was I wasn't so interested in it as an art form um, until someone told me to go take acting lessons and maybe I could have a role somewhere in ABS.
Mhm.
So that was Mr. M from Star Magic.
Mhm.
He was like, "Do you ever consider acting?" And I was like, "No." But why? And then he was like, "You should take acting workshops. Just try it. Like you might have a lot of roles because of the way you look and parang meron." I was like, fine,
And you
cool.
do.
Acting, sure, I can use it for my music videos and whatever. And then
Mhm.
I did it, and I actually took it very, very seriously once I started because we were learning an acting technique that's based from a Hollywood acting coach who
Mhm.
her name's Ivana Chubbuck, and she's helped win Oscars already for
Mhm.
like Charlize Theron, Sylvester Stallone, Halle Berry. Like she works personally with these great actors. And so she
Mhm.
has this book which has become this acting Bible in ABS-CBN. So I took it seriously because when we were doing the workshops, I felt like I was back in school in New York. Like I felt like, oh, okay, I'm learning something tangible that I can actually relate to, and I took it kind of like as a therapy, like as a form of therapy, because I was able to digest things that happened in my life and use those emotions and those actions and feelings and put it into something that's art, which is like
Mhm.
a script or a play or film or a you know I don't know, like it was just like a new thing for me to explore and I ended up liking it. And then my teacher ended up seeing potential in me and he kept pushing me. This is Direct Ryan Carlos,
Mhm.
who's the head of the Star Magic or ABS-CBN training
Mhm.
program. because he kept pushing me, I was like, Allah, baka pwede. And then I had to learn Tagalog.
Yeah.
So I started with like the smallest roles and things like that. But then in my mind, I was like, okay, if I'm wasting all my time in this workshop, I might as well think of a goal. Like, if I'm gonna be an actor, what kind of actor do I want to be? And I already knew because I was obsessed with J Lo and all these,
Yeah.
women, empowered women figures in music and film. That I really wanted to become an action drama actor. Like, if you know me, the only thing I love watching are like um, action or detective or mystery kind of films and TV shows, Law and Order,
Yeah.
um, CSI, like stuff like that. Um, I was just so intrigued, and it's just so badass to see women doing roles like that. And I felt like I could really relate to a lot of those characters. So that's what I put in my head. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be an action actor because I don't know if there's a lot of young action female actors that look like me and can have the skills that I have because of my dance background, my gymnastics background, my upbringing, being around what my dad exposed me to growing up. He was
Yeah.
always at the shooting range, like I had access to all of these things and I could totally use them for film. So one day I was like, okay, I'm going to shoot a music video for a song and I want it to be an action short. So basically put a team together. These are all my friends that just wanted to do things for fun. I put a team together to shoot a music video for Renegade, and we made like this choreographed um, action scene. I wasn't even singing in the music video at all, but in my mind, I did it with the intention of if this airs on Mix or YouTube or wherever, I hope that a director will see it and cast me in an action film or something. Anything. At least like they can see me doing a flip or shooting a gun or whatever. And then that music video aired, nothing happened to it, got maybe 1,000 views on YouTube. Nothing, as in nothing talaga. Even the director was kind of like bummed out that, oh, we put so much effort into it, didn't do anything. Which, mind you, happens a lot. Like you put so much effort into something, nothing happens. And then you're like, great, whatever. Another thing, another mishap. But little did I know, 6 months later, after this whole thing was released, I got a text from a friend who said there's a casting for an international project. They're looking for someone who's brown, like Morena Filipina. I was like, okay, sure, that's me. I showed up, went to the casting. Turns out they were looking for someone that can do action. So what I did was I pulled up my YouTube video of my music video, and I was like, here, this is the action that I can do. I produced that myself, but hey, that's what I want to do. And then when they saw the music video, they were like, that's exactly the role that we're looking for, that kind of like badass fighter girl. And we need it to be Filipina and perfect because your skin is like the real Morena Filipina look and feel that we're going for. So I was like, okay, cool. And they were like, okay, we'll come back in 2 months and then come back for an audition when the director is here. Left the meeting. I was like, yeah, right. They're never gonna come back. These foreigners, they have something for you, but they don't. They ghost you. They just forget about you.
Yeah.
But no, 2 months later, they came back. And this was the audition for the Steven Seagal action film that I ended up booking because I auditioned like 5 times. I kept getting called back and I just kept doing my best and kept putting it there like, this is meant for me, this is for me. I'm just gonna do it, whatever. Like, so then I got the role, and it was my first lead role in a film, and it was freaking Steven Seagal, an action hero I used to watch growing up, and it was international, so speaking English. So all my insecurities, from being brown to being Inglesera to you're not famous enough here in the Philippines to have a lead role. I had a lead role, man, with Steven Seagal pa. It was supposed to be a TV series, but then something happened. They turned it into a film. And
Wow.
now they
Amazing.
can watch. Now people can watch it on Netflix in America.
There you go, guys. Watch it. Watch the action star. Mica
It's
Javier
called
starring
General
with.
Command. But like,
It's called, what is it called
okay,
again?
so just with that story by itself, it's like a lot of parang suerte lang. Like the timing lang was correct. But
Mhm.
what people don't really see and what they don't know is the effort that you put along the way. You
Right.
don't do things to say, okay, I'm just gonna do this in exchange for like this. Like you
Mhm.
do it because you're passionate about it. You do your best and then you leave it. You let the universe do its thing. Because you can't demand the universe to give you something when you want it. It'll
Mhm.
give it to you when you're ready for it. But if you don't do the work, then how can the universe know that you're ready for it?
Yes, exactly.
So
Totally right.
for me, that's a huge thing. If you look at what's happening to you right now at the moment,
Mhm.
what opportunities are coming, what opportunities aren't coming, you can take a look back months, maybe 6 months or a year. What have I been doing? Have I been putting the effort into getting this that I want? If
Mhm.
not, then that's your answer. It's like, okay, then I should be putting more effort into doing this so I can achieve
Mhm.
it. That's the lesson. Like, that's the main lesson for me. And it always happens, no fail.
Yeah. And right now,
That
I know we're in, quarantine, and I see that you are inspiring people with your TikTok videos. I am totally entertained. But how did you come about? It seems like you're posting every day now.
yeah, girl. Well, what else is there to do?
But you are putting TikTok to another level. You know what I mean? What about us, people
Oh,
like us that cannot dance or act? You're amazing on it, and it's so entertaining. You
thank
had
you.
Jaya in with it.
I had like 200 followers when the lockdown started, and now it's like
Oh.
70,000.
Because you're putting it to
You know
another
what's crazy? I
level.
was like, what is this TikTok? This is such a stupid, like, childish app. And then JR was like, let's make TikTok videos. And then I started exploring it, and I was like, oh, this is actually fun.
Mhm.
And then I just started exploring. And the thing is, I love editing and I love creating like fun, quick things. Like
Mhm.
I've realized when you vlog, it takes so long. You have to shoot so much footage, edit
Right.
everything, and the process is so long. But TikTok, it's literally 15 or 60 seconds,
Mhm.
and you do it. You can do it so fast. So it's definitely, to other people it might look like ay wala lang magawa, but honestly it's sharpening my editing skills,
Yeah.
my creativity. Like it's even picking up choreography. Like I just watch
Mhm.
a video maybe 5 times and I can do the dance already.
Mhm.
And that's like, I mean, as a dancer you always want to keep your skills sharp
Right.
because you never know when they're going to give you choreography or like a fight scene or whatever.
Mhm.
So it's always just good to be able to pick things up. And then at the same time, since we can't leave the house, it's good exposure. Like you are
Yeah.
entertaining people, and then they'll check out the other stuff, the other real stuff that you do,
Mhm.
because they've seen something funny that you did on TikTok. So
Yeah.
it kind of just,
That's a really
yeah,
good
it's
tip,
like a,
though. What you're saying, you're utilizing what is relevant right now and making sure that you're ready if in case an opportunity comes to your door, right? You're
yeah,
using this time to elevate yourself and make sure that,
yeah,
yeah, I'm a dancer, so okay, there's TikTok, I'm going to utilize this.
yeah, dude. I can't go to the dance studio and
Hmm.
train or take classes. It's different. So at least with this, it's fun. Like you're on your own pace.
Hmm.
You can pick and choose what you want to learn, what you don't want to learn, and then it honestly saves me from boredom.
And I love your get-ups. You really go for gold with your makeup, with your outfits. I'm like, man, Mika's awesome. I hope people are watching this
It's
because,
fun.
yeah, you make it look fun, and that's the thing. That's the other reason why I initiate this program is so that I can learn from my friends, my network, like you, and at the same time, we catch up, and that's
Yeah.
what I want to, a domino effect to everyone out there who's feeling like there's nothing to do or they're feeling down. Watch Mika's
Dude,
TikTok.
I get it. There, there are times when I'm like, I feel so useless right now. This lockdown
Mhm.
is driving me crazy. I feel so unproductive. But to
Right.
be honest, we have the internet. If you are blessed enough to have
Yeah.
Wi-Fi at home, there's nothing that you can't learn.
Mhm.
Dude, even cooking, I've turned into a chef, yo. I can cook some mean ass meals. Like me and JR were saying, if we get a maid or a cook for the house, there's no more excuse, Mom, sir, I don't know how. Like, go on YouTube, you'll figure it
Yeah.
out, because that's what we did. I didn't know how to cook that well before this, and now
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you know. So if you want
Mhm.
to learn something, go to YouTube University. It's
Yeah.
free,
Actually,
you
yes.
know. So
And
when we
before,
leave, when we're
yeah.
done with this lockdown, at least it's like, okay, I learned something. Okay, I
Mhm.
can apply this to the next thing that I have to do. So there's a lot. Like, there's a lot. I just choose to do the performing arts stuff because I love
Yeah.
that. Makes me feel alive.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, that's all you have to really do. You don't have to go far. I mean, whatever you're passionate
Yeah.
with, whatever you want to be better at, this is the time, because everybody's in the same position where they cannot move, they cannot go to the office, they cannot go to, like you said, your dance studio. So you have to create a space for
Dude,
yourself in your own home.
even my friends who have like they're yoga instructors.
Mhm.
I have a friend who has a studio, and she was like, "How am I gonna make money now?
Mhm.
Nobody's gonna go out to the yoga studio." So I'm telling her, you should do an online,
Yeah,
like a
class.
group class or something where it's an
Mhm.
um, exclusive access to your clients or
Mhm.
your people that go to take classes with you. Make it personal, make it more fun for
Yeah.
them somehow. I don't know how, but like, just be creative with it, because
Mhm.
everything is moving digital now anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, we were heading there. It's
Yes.
just more real now because we can't go
Mhm.
outside,
Yeah,
so
we're
might
more
as well
forced.
utilize it.
Yeah, exactly. We're more forced to use what we have in this day and age. Like that. I don't know. Maybe Nika will do like a TikTok 101 section with you guys. Maybe watch her live.
So many
You
people
gotta
are
teach
asking me to
people.
teach them how to do it. I'm like, it's so easy. Or maybe I just have too much time on my hands. I don't know.
You make it look so good. That's why. But anyways, I have a question for you here online before we wrap up. What's your advice to people who feel lost after graduating?
Oh my God, I was like that. I was
Mhm.
lost after graduating. So my advice is, okay, so it depends, because some people, they graduate and their parents are like, you have to do this or you have to
Mhm.
do that. My advice is really dive deep into who you are, what you want to do, like where do you see yourself in 5 years time,
Mhm.
and then figure out, work backwards. Like, let's say I'll just use my example. I want to be an artist. An
Mhm.
artist does X, Y, and Z. What do I have to do from now until I get there for me to get there? So
Mhm.
work backwards. It's like, okay, they have X amount of followers. How do I get followers? I have to make content. I have to be seen. I have to get good at the content that I produce, that I make. Like, I have to network. I have to meet
Mhm.
a manager, or audition for something. So work backwards. And then while you're doing that, if you're not making money doing that yet, do something where you are making some sort of money somehow,
Mhm.
whatever it is. Like, if it's having to work for your family business or having to work a 9 to 5 job for now that you're semi interested in,
Mhm.
because the skills that you learn there, you can apply to whatever it is that you are actually dreaming of doing.
Mhm.
So nothing goes to waste.
Right.
And then, like, example for me, I actually took a 9 to 5 job after college. I
Mhm.
worked as a receptionist at a beauty company owned by Jay-Z and Mary J. Blige.
Wow.
Still music related, but I
Yeah.
was like, you know what? They're gonna hire me as a receptionist. Fine, I'll reception the be the best receptionist ever. But I'll also network with them and learn
Yeah.
their ways so that I
Mhm.
can get the skills that they have, because I look up to
Mhm.
them. I'll get their mentality, their skill sets, whatever it is, that, like, how do they behave? How do they
Mhm.
live? I'll just see it, and then I'll have an idea how I want to do to get to where I want to be.
Mhm.
Um, but obviously, I was like, I'm not gonna be a receptionist forever. I only lasted 3 months. I
Mhm.
felt like I learned everything. And in 3 months, I wanted to jump out the window. I was like,
Yeah.
I can't stay inside like this. This is crazy. But I still did it, and I learned so much. I made
Mhm.
connections, and you guys should do the same. If you don't know you're lost, try anything. Try anything that you are remotely interested in, because you'll figure it out fairly quickly. Like in 2 weeks, you'll figure out, ayoko to. Pwede. And then over time, unless you already have a clear idea of what you really want, and then you can just go for that, over time you'll start to figure out what direction you should be headed in.
Mhm.
It takes a lot of patience with yourself, a lot of feeling not good enough, feeling not sure,
Mhm.
but just embrace that feeling and allow yourself to explore, because we all have to do that. To get to anywhere, you have to explore. You have to fall down. You have to get hurt. Parang
Mhm.
heartbreak lang yan.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
have to
to get
experience
to
the
figure out what you
pain.
want and
So
don't
we'll
want.
do some shout outs real quick. Hi, Enrique Guzman, all the way from Chicago. We have
Oh,
Joe Fish from Singapore. Hi, Joe. My
hi.
mom, all the way from Australia, Sydney. And
Joe says love some undocs. Hey. Cool.
Manel, ang galing mo sa Los Bastardos. Yeah, you were awesome.
Oh,
I was
thank
watching your
you.
fight scenes there. Love it.
Dude,
Nick,
did you hear my Tagalog in the beginning of Los Bastardos till the end? I would watch the first few episodes and I cringe. I'm like, ew. Magaling
hey,
ang
but you learned it. You learned the language.
Then at the end, my lines were like freaking
Um,
essays.
but hey, that's the challenge you gave yourself. So you did well, and you're still doing well, Mika. Do
Thank
you
you.
have anything to promote or greet? Please go ahead, do
Oh my god, my phone is gonna die. It's like 1%.
that. We're almost done.
Oh my gosh. Good thing I noticed. Holy crap.
We've been
Okay.
on for a while.
It was like like doing this weird sound, and then I checked the battery.
Go ahead and greet our.
Well, this was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. Is there anything that we should
I've started.
watch or you can promote what you have upcoming?
Oh, okay. Well, I just want to invite everyone to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/Mica Javier. I post a lot of videos behind the scenes. Lots of stuff from what we've been doing at quarantine, music stuff, guestings from before. It's all there. And then all my music is on Spotify. So check out my artist page on Spotify. It's just Mica Javier. And I have a single out right now. It's called Honest. It's on Spotify and all the digital platforms. And the music video is on my YouTube channel. So check that out. And we can connect on social media. My Instagram is Mica, and my Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and everything else is The Real Mica. So I'll catch you guys online. Whoever's watching, I love connecting with my audience, and I hope that I catch you guys there. And I honestly, Mafae, I love doing this kind of stuff
Great.
because I get a lot of questions online, and I don't get to answer everyone. But I feel like there's a lot to share with in terms of like the lessons and the journey that a lot of younger people can take from.
Yeah, and
like
you
they can
shared a
apply
lot.
it to their lives
Mm-hmm.
to
So
help them, because I didn't have that.
yeah.
Like I didn't have someone I looked up to literally telling me, okay, you should try this or make your think of it this way. Didn't have that. So if I could help other people to help them progress in their lives, then that's what makes everything else worth it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel as though that we all have people when we like us, we have the chance to experience these things. I think it's a our calling to just give back and share our story, because that's the testimony that we have. And from there, the youth most especially can see, okay, she did this. She told me to do it the other way. Like, we did it for them. We fast track what will happen if they took these certain choices. So with that, Mica, can you please give your words of wisdom to aspiring singers, dancers, creatives, and most especially the youth, with what we are experiencing now? How can you motivate and give them hope?
Ooh. To any aspiring artists, it's not an easy industry to navigate. That is something that you just have to accept. But if you're super passionate about it and really love it and really see yourself succeeding, you have to be willing to do whatever it takes and remain within your moral compass for what it takes, or for doing what it takes to get to your goals. For me, I can probably say that I've never done anything that that was out of my moral code to be able to get to where I've been and to this point right now. It was all hard work, just grinding, persistence, patience, and you're just gonna have to be relentless in being the best at your chosen craft. Because if you are the best at something, you cannot be replaced. So everyone is unique, so everyone has their unique way of being the best. And it's just a matter of matching that with the correct audience and the correct group of people or team or industry, and you'll be on your way. So don't feel discouraged.
Well said, Mica, and thank you again for joining me this afternoon. You've shared so many inspiring words and stories. Your transparency is a blessing to everyone right now. So with that, guys, like Mica, actions speak louder than words, and thank you for tuning in another episode of In Love with Me. Watch out for the next episodes as we learn from other inspiring guests. I love you, Mica.
Cool. Thanks for having
you.
me. Bye.
Thank you for watching In Love with Me series.